Hello, everyone. It's me again. We are going to start the presentation of the award. Can everyone here have a seat? Okay, let's start. My name is Yuqing Zhang, the General Manager of mAPA, the platform, and the organizer of mAPA Awards. I'm very happy to be here to give a presentation about this award, mAPA mAPA Artistic Perfumery Awards, which we have already hosted for 5 years. And this is the first time we came abroad and become a partner of Axons. So thank you to be the audience of my first speech in Axons. Let's start. And this is about our company. It's an artistic perfumery, culture spreading, cultural communication company, and we do a lot of events and exhibitions, and also mAPA Awards in China to encourage the innovation and creativity of Chinese artistic brands and individual creators. And okay, here is the introduction about mAPA Awards. mAPA, the full name is mAPA Artistic Perfumery Award. It's the first professional awards of global artistic perfumery industry in China, hosted by mAPA. And the name in 2019 and 2020, the name used to be mNPA, mAPA Niche Perfumery Awards. And in order to highlight the importance of the award artistic creation attributes, we changed to the current name, mAPA, from the niche to artistic. And the unique value of mAPA is to encourage the innovation and artistic expression of fragrances, and to reward the creation of high-quality perfumes with deep uniqueness and artistic expression. And the first edition was started in 2019 when we collaborated with Perfumery. And at that time, the awards faced to the public. The judges picked out the shortlist by blind evaluation, and then we set up spots in shopping malls or other public spaces to collect the votes from the public. It was a hit because there was no such big event in the industry to gather most of the people that are working for industry, working on artistic perfumery. But in the following 3 editions of mAPA, the pandemic forced us to make a lot of change. We started remote voting by invited voters, and we upgrade the jewelry lineup, and we add some new categories of the awards. And at the same time, the Chinese perfumery was growing very fast. And finally, in the 5th edition, which is mAPA 2023, it has become a brand new professional awards that can represent the voice of Chinese artistic perfumery. Okay, so let me show you the 4 units of mAPA 2023. You can find out the 4. Out of the 4, 3 of them are basically facing to Chinese creators. You can see the China unit, Chinese brand unit, and the individual unit, in which most of the individual creators are Chinese, of course. So this is what we couldn't even imagine 5 years ago. And for the jury committee, we have pre-selection judges in China and expert judges from all over the world, including very famous olfactory artists like Cecil Tolas and Professor of Sensory Study, and also Silvio Levy, the founder of Excellence. I appreciate a lot his support on the awards. And in December, we had the final selection meeting in Milan here, and in February, we hosted the award ceremony in Beijing. So this is the pictures of the award ceremony. And I got a short video for you to show what we did in mAPA 2023. And, it's not working. Someone help me. The video is not working. Okay, let's start. So that's the preparation. We have to divide them in small vials and bottles to ship them to the pre-selection judge. And these are the pre-selection judges in China, and they are trying the perfumes in the vial and do the online voting. And that's me. And this is the final selection meeting in Milan. This is when we calculating the scores. Okay, and here is the winner list of mAPA 2023. I bring some of them with me, so after my lecture, you can come on the stage and freely smell some of them. What I brought mostly are Chinese brands, so I think there will be something new for you to smell, to try. And we also have a stand in partner zone P3, in which you can find me and smell more brands from China and prize winners of mAPA 2023. So if you are interested, you can come to P3 to find us after the event. And for the winners list, I want to introduce a little bit. And the first category is the annual overseas artistic perfumer And we got two perfumes from Amouage and one from Actual called Haze. And for the special focus of year 2023 of the overseas unit, we got one from Historias de Parfums, and one from Nicolai, and one from Affinescence. And for annual best Chinese brand of artistic perfumery, we got the brand called Voice from the Sky. Just if you listened to this panel discussion just now, Matthew mentioned this brand. And another brand called 7寸酒, which is drew inspirations from Chinese mythology, and the themes of the perfumes are very interesting. They are all about like the gods and the heavens, the monsters in Chinese mythology, which is very interesting. And for the last one, Utuli is one of the earliest Chinese brands found in 2017, a little bit more earlier than 2 summer. And in the first edition of mAPA in 2019, their Osmanthus perfume has won the mAPA awards. And this time, the whole brands got the best Chinese brand award. Congratulations. And in the category of annual best Chinese artistic perfume, we got a perfume from Ding Sher called Hitchcock. And the perfume is very strong and dark, inspired by the film of Hitchcock, which is very interesting. While the snowy dying sandalwood is more like Chinese style from a very new brand in China. And the last one, Parfum, is from a high-end independent perfumes brand called Mobius. And the perfumer is also right there. Lorenzo is young but very skillful on using raw materials. And in the special focus of year 2023, in China, we got 3 Chinese perfumes about tea and tobacco. And the last one is trying to explain some theory of the psychology. So very diversified, you can see. But we got a biggest surprise from this new category that's set for individual creators. And the award's name is Annual Best Individual Artistic Perfume Creation. And we got 3 perfumes here are all created by individual perfumes or even amateurs. So they are very great. And the first one, the one who got the highest score in mAPA in this category, is called Hometown in Me, the Hometown in Me, which is created by a young Taiwanese girl, a perfumer. And this perfume is trying to describe the scene of the perfumer's hometown. It's like it has the vat closet made by wood and osmanthus tree, something like that. And the second one, called Hidden Peacock, is talking about gender issue, showing the fragile and conflicting emotions of a young boy who deeply thinks himself a girl. And the last one, called Brass Necklace, which is most appreciated by mAPA's expert judges because its subtle touch of the warm metal using herbal materials instead of the aldehyde note, which makes you feel truly connected with the necklace on someone's neck, a little bit sweating necklace. Okay, so let's move to the so from the results of mAPA 2023, we surprisingly find that the independent Chinese creators are very potential and very creative, even though some of them don't have perfumery education background and are not very skillful enough to deal with the chemicals, but they are so brave and they do know what they want. And let's move to the Chinese brand. If we compare mAPA 2023 to the past several editions, we can see that the quantity of Chinese niche perfume brands growing rapidly. In several years ago, most of Chinese perfume brands were about copying and imitating, just as what you know. And they basically drew inspirations from the big commercial brands like Chanel, Dior, Hermes, and something else. And then they gradually started to explore something more about China, the topic of China. So there came the trend of the tea notes, osmanthus notes, sandalwood notes, etc., which make you feel, oh, this is the smell of China. And later on, some of the creators realized that those are simply some symbols of China. Using such notes doesn't really mean you understand the culture very well. So I think Chinese culture is not just some words that sound like China. It's something that deeply in our brains and our blood, in the air of the city, and in the relationships that happens between human and nature. So now we can see some Chinese creators are trying to tell their own stories sincerely and to discuss some philosophical proposition by using smell. And some of them no more stick to Chinese style on the surface, superficially, they try to make something more than that, and something real and something complicated. However, under the control of the cost and the demand of the market, there are still so much to be improved. Until now, there are still a lot of brands saying that they are making original creations, but actually they do not, or they just cannot achieve it. However, so far, most of Chinese brands cooperate with Western fragrance houses or perfumers. So I think we need to cultivate Chinese perfumers who has our own background of Chinese culture, and we still have numerous original plants and raw materials to be developed on this very big and rich land. And we still have diverse culture to be explored with more than 5,000 years history. And last week, I was interviewed by a French magazine, and they asked if there is anything I want to say to break up the stereotypes from Western countries. Well, I would say Chinese perfumery is still in the process of growing, of changing. So I don't think it's time to say that we can get rid of all the stereotypes. But I hope Western world can have more willingness and opportunities to see the current situation of Chinese perfumes and to experience this process together with us and have more communication with us. And during this process, stereotypes will naturally be shattered. Because what you will meet are unique and living individuals, and I'm so happy that mAPA and Accents create such great chances. Okay, and I know some of you are from the Western brand, and you might be you might be curious about the market of China. In my experience of mAPA and the industrial in the past few years, I have indeed come to some conclusions that I can share with you. Although Chinese brands are growing very fast, more than half of the sales in perfume industry are still contributed by overseas brands. And brands like Jo Malone and Diptyque are already very well known here. As Chinese people become more aware of the use of perfume, there comes more chances for perfume brands, especially artistic brands. Well, unlike Europe, which has a tradition of using perfume for hundreds of years, the main users of perfume in China is young people. So they prefer more fashionable, more energetic perfumes, and influenced by the view of nature in traditional Chinese philosophy, Chinese people prefer fresh and natural scents, pursue the fairy conception, and have a great affinity for natural plant raw materials. These aesthetic concepts are also reflected in a lot of Chinese perfume brands. But compared to the past few years, Chinese users are now more open to different notes. like wood, spicy, shiphe, etc. And they are more willing to listen the story behind the bottles and to learn how a perfume is created, but not only pay for the brand. Instead of walking in a store and pick up their favorite scents, Chinese users are used to reading perfume reviews, just like what I said before, from social media or from KOLs on the internet, and make decisions after doing enough research. So they are not like know a brand from buying its products, but they need to know it before they pay for it. So in China, the exposure of the brand is very important. And in 2023, we held big exhibitions for multiple niche perfume brands in different cities and spreading it on social media like Little Red Book and WeChat. So this is the picture of the niche perfume exhibitions that we made in different cities. And we also hosted events for brands, and we hosted mAPA Awards, which increased the exposure of number of brands. And nowadays, the brand competition in Chinese market is becoming very fierce. And I believe that people's recognition of a brand comes from not only the brand's own actions, but also from the extensive communication and promotion in the whole society. So I hope no matter Chinese brands or Chinese representatives of overseas brands can make their own way in the future. And all mAPA does will be just a start. Yeah, so that's the whole presentation of mAPA Awards. And then in the last 10 minutes, I want you to come on the stage and to try some perfumes, some prize winner of mAPA Awards. Thank you. You can come on here.